Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of ıΔÄɁruǝH, the only series on the internet where we usually have a strict schedule that we like to follow, but at some points, life gets in the way. Now, if you're wondering what I'm referring to, yesterday I planned on making a video that should have been out today, and then today is Friday, so I should not be making a video today. But some certain things happened in my life recently that were pretty personal, and I'd rather not get into it. Once it gets a little bit more fleshed out, and hopefully the ball gets rolling on a few things, then maybe I'll be able to talk about it a little bit more. But at the moment, just to let you know, if the schedule if I ever don't upload in the next few days or the next few weeks, perhaps, I just want to let you know that one of two things is happening. Either my job is killing my feet and walking around is getting a little tough, or number two, some personal things are going on in my household and it's not super fun. I thank every single one of you who's understanding enough to know that life happens and sometimes it's not fun. But let's get on to the actual review, because life doesn't need to be this goddamn depressing. So let's go ahead and kick it into it with a series that's, oh god damn it, it's ıΔÄŨruǝH, our favorite series that has started to drift away from its darker tones to a more lighthearted sort of things. Yes, I'm looking at you, Goblin Slayer, for doing the exact same thing, even though Goblin Slayer should have done the entire dark way through the whole thing, because Goblin Slayer was just medieval Doom with like RPG elements in it. I want Doom Slayer, Goblin Slayer, okay? Some of us came here for that. I'm still salty about that show. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into it. ıΔÄÚruǝH, episode 10 of what we're reviewing, is the next episode of Mode, and we only have 2 more episodes left until the entire season is done, in which case I'm being told that there is a greenlit for a second season, so goddamn, this is going to go on for a while. So, to start out with, the show begins with the average recap of a lot of things that have happened. It ends with Kiaru in the bell tower looking over to see the disturbance that has been caused, and sees that Norn, the little sister of Flare, aka Freya, is walking into town, and then notices the hero of the town, Blade, is also there. That confusing character who I can never figure out the gender to, because anime is anime. And he notices her. Him, whatever, he notices Blade, and decides, hey, fuck you in particular. But then as he's looking around, he notices there's somebody traveling along with them, who spots him immediately, and then bolts out of the tower. Because apparently there's a guy there that's a really good archer named Hawkeye. Man, I wonder why that's confusing. Archer named Hawkeye. Eyes on you, Japan. You're blatant disregard for copyright. But nonetheless, after that little bit, it then cuts to Blade being horse-drawn through the entire city, and notices that there's a pretty girl out in the crowd, and Blade smiles at the girl, and then it quickly cuts to Blade and the girl in a room. The girl drugged and held to a bed, and Blade getting extremely handsy. Okay, this is dipping back into the darker side, and I was not ready for it. But nonetheless, let's just go ahead and reaffirm how much I hate this. You know what? Bitch is gender neutral. I hate this bitch. It then cuts to the group bargaining with the really hot salesman. Did I mention in the last episode that I did about this how hot he is? Oh my god. Why are you a side character? With the hot merchant from before, or about the entirety of what's going on, and then through conversation it leads to like, hey, have you noticed that hero that came through? Who, Blade? Yeah, I've heard a lot of allegations immediately about how Blade's a rapist. And Blade just happens to hang around this one area. And then Kiara's like, should I sacrifice 2 of these women that I hang out with to her? Blade? And it then cuts to the scene of him making the bigger decision of it, or as I like to call it, Scene 1. Scene 1 lasts from 7 minutes and 40 seconds to 8 minutes and 20 seconds. 40 seconds in total. Noticeably, these are getting shorter. And I don't know how to say this, but kind of glad. You know, I do review these series as a joke and as an actual passion of mine. But it's weird when I'm rooting for the fact that I want less in this series. He's with Freya and Setsuna the whole time, and in the next bed over is a character that is Eve, the character that's trying to act like she's not liking the entire thing, but is actually using her hands on herself the whole time. And then after the entire thing, he thinks, oh, god damn it, I don't want to have to put these girls in harm's way. So, naturally, he does exactly what every anime character has to do. He then walks up to the girl and says, I need you to put makeup on me. And she's like, oh, you like to cross-dress. I didn't know you like to do that. He's like, no. And then heals his own face, turns him into a female-gendered version of himself, which oddly looks nothing like him. And then after doing that, the two girls there go fucking wild and are like, I want to make you look so pretty. Oh my god, you're so pretty already. I want to do something. And then Setsuna lifts up her skirt. Or, why would you do that? I really just wanted to see what was going on. This, I feel like, could have been where the next scene had taken place, but unfortunately there's no scene 2 in this whole thing, which is a little disappointing because you had material to work with. But nonetheless, Kiaru, now in his female form, decides, you know what? I'm gonna go see if I can lure out Blade in this form. Walks out into the street, and then as he's going around baiting himself for Blade, attracts a few other people, of which case they start getting handsy, and then he kicks their ass or kills them. I'm not going to judge. Completely justifiable. And then goes to the bar that he believes that Blade is staying in. Goes there, chats up the hero, and gets drugged. Tries to roofie her. And then he's like, nah, I don't want it. But you can drink it. So then Blade's like, alright, takes a sip, and then kisses Kiaru, and then shoves it into his mouth. Like a true gentleman motherfucker. So then, Blade picks up Kiaru and goes out, and then he's like, this is exactly how I planned everything to go. And then one of the fathers, inexplicably out of nowhere, shows up with a knife and attempts to murder Blade for attacking his daughter, which, extremely understandable. Not even going to judge, I'm on your side, man. And the older man is about to go and stab him again, but then Kiaru gets thrown at the old man. Ninja kicks him into a barrel and says, oh, I'm so sorry for doing that. I'm going to have to be the one who gets revenge, but I'm going to do it in your name. Man, this is for you. Oh, and then and then Blade and female Kiaru get into a really cool fight with one particular moment that I think is really cool, of where he throws like needles at Blade, and then like one of them, like they all miss, but then the third one goes into Blade's throat, and then he just pulls it out, and then goes back to fighting. I'm like, that's hardcore. Okay. Hey, I want to see how far this goes. Unfortunately, Blade wins the fight, and then it ends with the whole choking thing. Kiaru passes out, and then wakes up strapped down into the bed. In which case, Blade is like, you're mine now. Kiaru looks up and says, as you fucking awful male human being. And then Blade takes off the shirt to reveal that, oh, she is in fact female. And not only is she a rapist, she's a lesbian rapist. Which, well, there's, on one hand, representation. On the other hand, rape. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume this isn't one of those characters you put in like a 3x3 of like gay characters in anime, because this is not gonna go well. But then Blade, after sticking her hand down Kyaru's pants, apparently there's one thing that he didn't change when he was transforming himself into a girl, and that's the big old pee-pee ding-dong. In other words, Blade got trapped. Trap time. So, naturally, she takes her hand out. I just felt a male's thing, and then throws up. Horribly transphobic, I gotta say. Kind of a bitch, not gonna lie. I really don't like her. Just on that thing. Everything else, I was also against. But this thing is egregious. In which case, Kyaru's like, okay, time's up. And then he touches all the different things and disintegrates all of them, because healing essentially means time manipulation. And then stands up and says, hey, I'm gonna get revenge. And then shivs the fuck out of her with a whole bunch of knives that he was carrying on him, while still in his female form. And then it ends like a typical cock tease and then stops right there. Like, dude, this is the part that I wanted to see. The rapist bitch getting murdered. And then you stop. Okay, fine. It's not my fault. And then it ends right there. And if you want to know if I'm going to watch the next episode, fuck yeah, I'm going to watch the next episode. I want to watch this bitch get murdered. Or fucked right up. God, this show's hooking me a little bit. It only took 10 episodes. And there's only 2 left. But, oh, I'm invested now. Oh, I want to know what's going on. So, until next time, yes, I am going to be continuing this series. Yes, I'm hyped for the next episode, and I do want to watch it, mostly because I want to watch the horrible people get what's coming to them, and I want to watch the cute characters have at least a relatively normal life that I know they're not going to get to, because this series is cruel and an asshole. So, until next time, I'd like to thank you all for being here. We are still at 86 subscribers. Holy fuck, that is more than I ever thought I'd get. But I want to end this off quickly because I only have one more day of work and then I get a weekend and then I can actually make some videos with a little bit of timing in them. So, until next time, I have been the Doctor. Thank you all for being here. Thank you ever so much for being as understanding as you are with my hectic upload schedule. And thank you to the bottom of my heart. Have a nice day. Don't be a dick. There's too many of them. And wash your fucking hands. I have been the Doctor. Peace.